Look at your life for a moment. Not your goals, not your plans. Look at the things you almost became, the skills you started, the paths you seriously considered, the versions of you that still exist, only in your head. Here's the strange part. You're not lazy. You're not afraid of hard work. If anything, you're overwhelmed by how many directions feel right. Some people get stuck because they can't commit. But you? You get stuck because everything feels like a commitment. Every choice feels meaningful. Every path feels personal. And choosing one feels like betraying the others. That tension you feel? That's not confusion. That's your mind trying to hold too many possible futures at the same time. And nobody ever taught you what to do with a brain like this. Psychologists have a name for it. They call it the scanner's dilemma. Perfectly captured in one sentence. I could do anything if I only knew what to choose. And society has a name for you too. They call you a dilettante, a jack of all trades, a master of none. And once that label sticks, the anxiety begins. Because slowly, you start to believe. Your curiosity is a flaw. Your range is instability. Your mind can't be trusted. And that belief weighs heavy. To understand why this hurts so much, we need to understand how success used to work. For most of the last century, the world rewarded specialists. The environment was stable, predictable, linear. Psychologists call this a kind learning environment. The rules were clear. Feedback was immediate. Repetition was rewarded. In that world, going deep into one narrow field made perfect sense. But that's not the world we live in anymore. Today, we live in a wicked learning environment. The rules change constantly. Feedback is delayed. Patterns are unclear. What worked yesterday can quietly fail tomorrow. Think about the difference between a golfer and a firefighter. A golfer operates in a kind environment. Same course, same rules, immediate feedback. A firefighter doesn't. Every fire is different. The rules are unknown. And past experience doesn't always apply. In a wicked world, adaptability matters more than perfection. Now, to be clear, specialists are valuable. Deep expertise matters. The problem is not specialization. The problem is treating it as the only valid path. When that single standard is used to measure everyone, people like you feel broken for being built differently. So stop thinking in job titles. Start thinking in shapes. The I-shaped person has one deep pillar of knowledge. The opposite is the dash-shaped person. Wide interests, shallow depth, constant anxiety. But there's another shape, one designed for minds like yours. The M-shaped professional. Two or more deep pillars, connected by broad curiosity. Maybe one pillar is technical, another is creative. Individually, they're common. Together, they're rare. Suddenly, you're not distracted. You're distinct. The tool behind this is called far transfer. Specialists use near transfer, applying a skill to a similar problem. Polymaths use far transfer. They see structure beneath the surface and apply it across domains. A musician sees harmony in software. A biologist sees systems in business. A writer sees story inside data. Your random interests become a library of insight. But here's where most scanners get stuck. They try to build everything at once. That leads to shallow progress, self-doubt, and burnout. So the strategy has to change. You build one pillar at a time. Not forever, just for a season. 6 months, 12 months. Long enough to reach fluency. Long enough to stand on it. This isn't quitting. This is intentional transition. And this is why your job matters. Your job doesn't have to be your passion. Sometimes it's just stable ground. Einstein didn't change the world because his job inspired him. He changed it because his job didn't drain him. Mental energy is your real asset. Protect it. Finally, you need a system. Your mind produces more ideas than it can safely hold. Without an external system, curiosity turns into overwhelm. Capture ideas. Store obsessions. Let them rest. So years later, they can connect in ways you never planned. Here's the truth. You are not unfocused. You are not undisciplined. You are a connector, a bridge between worlds. Once you stop fighting your nature, the anxiety eases. Clarity doesn't come from choosing less. It comes from choosing differently. You were never meant to be just one thing. You were meant to see how everything connects. And that is not a weakness. It's your advantage.